be ambitious is for most people an attractive trait. I'd say someone's not ambitious, it's an attractive trait. So people often take offence, but again, we don't say it to cause offence. We just say it to really illustrate a point, right? Again, as we said, if you went into a room full of 100 people and said, who wants to be a millionaire? 99% of them put their hand up. But when you look at their behaviours and what they're willing to do, it wouldn't quite be in sync.
Warning, the Renegade Recruiter is not for the soft, timid or faint-hearted. If you need permission or seek approval from your mother, spouse, mates in the pub, or anyone else for that matter, this really isn't for you. If any of what you've heard puts you off in the slightest, I advise you not to listen any further. You've been warned. Prepare yourself for the no bullshit, zero fluff. Quick, dirty, and uncensored secrets for any serious recruitment, staffing, and search business owner who wants to earn more money with less work and fewer headaches, without having to kiss ass or bend over backwards to please anyone. He's a relentless and fearless renegade who will stop at nothing to reveal the harsh, unforgiving, and brutal truth about what it really takes to succeed in this business. He's a guy people love to hate and hate to love. It's your host, Terry Edwards. The Renegade Recruiter is unleashed.
So we're going to come on now to advanced thinking for recruitment and search firm owners. Here's the thing, they just think differently. I'm going to not now. And they believe different things. Therefore, they act differently. You may have heard this story. I think it's in China. They have a method for, excuse me. They have a method for capturing monkeys. What they do, they've got this bamboo cage they put on the ground, and inside the bamboo cage is another bamboo cage, a smaller one, and inside there is a bunch of bananas. And there's a hole at the top of the main bamboo cage, but the box, the other bamboo cage, can't get out of there. And then what they do is, the monkey comes along, they sees the bananas, puts its hands in to pull out the smaller box, but can't. But what the monkey then does is keeps pulling and keeps holding onto it. And they just come along and have trapped the monkey. The point I'm making, at times you're going to hold on to your limited beliefs. You're going to hold on to stuff that's going to stop you. You're going to be trapped. And it's really important that you acknowledge what those limited beliefs are. And I talked earlier about the fear of sending out emails. And you talk to any of the guys, there's an element of fear of doing it, first of all, but you've got to let go of that. Honestly, it's crap. You've got to let go of that. My clients won't pay a retainer. My clients won't pay my clients won't pay a premium. Often when prospects tell us that, the question I always ask is, have you asked for a retainer? Well, no, there's no point. Well, I've got some news for you. The client won't volunteer to pay a retainer. Oh, but my market's different, so they won't pay a premium. Have you asked for it? Because again, the client won't. I've got some great news for you. 20% of your clients will pay for some sort of premium service if it's of benefit to them. But you've got to let go of that stuff as to why is it going to happen. Does that make sense? Yeah?
Yeah, just on this, I mean, me and Terry sort of debated whether or not to put this section in, just because, again, we went around the room at the beginning and said, oh, what do you want to get out of 2 days? Nobody said, I want to improve my mindset, right? No, it's not what people want. It's not, everyone wants lead generation, they want more money, they want sort of the more sexy stuff, which is completely understandable. But yeah, everyone wants the end result. But this is basically the foundation of everything that we're going to be doing over the 2 days, right? The reason you haven't achieved what you want to achieve in your business right now, so it could be because of knowledge, like maybe you didn't know the stuff, right? But a lot of you have been following Terry, so some of you said 4 years, right? So I don't think it is because of knowledge, right? So it could be because of implementation, you haven't actually put the stuff into practice, which is true. But the reason people don't implement is because of the mindset, right? As I said, people, like the most successful recruiters, they think differently, therefore they act differently. So what we're going to be going through is looking at some of their thinking behaviours, some of the different beliefs that they have that may be different to yours. And there's quite a few different sections on this. Again, you can take any of them as you want. You can either choose to take all of them and use them in your business, or you might be saying, actually, I don't want to think like that, or I don't agree with that. And it's entirely up to you. What I will say is that will affect your results, right? The more you sort of adapt this thinking behaviour, the better results you'll get. And it's not something that will happen overnight. It's something that you will need to constantly work on. Even me and Terry, we're constantly working on it. But this is where you'll get the real breakthroughs. If you can change the way you think, you will change your behaviours, and therefore you will change the results that you're getting. And same with your team as well. If you can change the way they think, which is easier said than done, you'll change their behaviours, and therefore you'll change their results.
So what we're doing here really is we're modelling success. As Drew said, you don't have to do any of this. It's a bit like me giving you a recipe for something. You're saying, oh, I'm not going to put all the ingredients in. You're not going to get the same results. I've got to be really clear about this. So here's a question, the question is, who really wants to be a millionaire? Now, we use the term millionaire. It's whatever success is for you. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be actually be a worth of £1 million. But if I go around the room and say to everybody here, do you want to be a millionaire? Most people will say yes, but for some people, there's a bit of a hesitation. As we've asked that question, you're aware of that hesitation. There's something going on there. There's so much mental stuff going on there. Because if there's any hesitation there whatsoever, you're not going to do. You guys came down from Newcastle. If you got onto the train and there was any doubt whatsoever that you were going to get here safely, you're not going to do it, are you? If there's even a small amount of doubt, there's going to be a terrorist or whatever, you're not going to do it. And the same applies there. If there's whatever success is for you, if there's any doubt whatsoever, I don't want to go into this, and I'm not going to go on about religion, but on a purely personal level, my parents were very religious, my mum in particular, and had certain beliefs. And one of them was money being the root of all evil. Think about the implication of that if you share that belief. Because if you share the belief at some level that money is the root of all evil, anytime you get you're not going to do something if you believe deep down that it's the root of all evil. By the way, it's a misquote, by the way. And I'm not going to get into religion. I'm not religious myself, but it is a misquote. But just be aware of those deep-rooted beliefs, because what will then happen is what we call self-sabotage. We work with a client We work with a client. We work with a client. He shared something with us, Neil Carris. You know who we're talking about. And he shared this. His name's Martin. So we'll just say Martin. And he said this. He said, to break even in his business, he had to do, I think it was 42,000 a month, just to break even. And I think it was at 47,000 each month. He's going to earn a really good living. But I think it was 40,000 he break even, 47 in terms of dividends. He's going to make a really good living. He then acknowledged that he'd get to about 45 to 48, and that was it. See, what's happened there, at some level, I've got what I need, and he's taken his foot off the accelerator. All of us in this room do that. It may have been 45,000 for him. It may be 100,000 for you. It may be 10,000. Your consultants do it as well. But what we know with the real top performers, they go 45,000 break even, 50,000 I'm going to kick ass, 60,000, let's go for 60,000. See, they don't self-sabotage in that area. I can share with all of you today things you can do to generate leads. I guarantee, that's really good, Terry, but I'm really busy at the moment. Got to take the dog for a walk, the kids. It just forms a self-sabotage. If you were totally committed to it, you're just going to do it. This isn't criticism. It's what we all do, by the way. At some level, if you've got consultants, at some level, they're doing that. Yeah, but no, in my market, bollocks. It's just forms of self-sabotage. I can't do that. Often, it's around their own self-worth and your own self-worth, what you truly believe you're worth. Because if you don't believe you deserve to be a millionaire, at some level, you're never going to do it. If you don't believe truly you deserve to be successful and to have the business and the income and the lifestyle and the freedom, because at the end of the day, that's what we're all here for, the money will give you the freedom to do what you really want to do. If you've got any conflict in there, your thermostat kicks in and it's like, bang. It may be 5,000, it may be 10,000, it may be 100,000. Let me just check in. Does that make sense, what I'm saying there? Yeah? Be aware of what your thing is. If you've been in business for a number of years and you're billing around about the same as you were billing 4 or 5 years ago, there's something going on. You're 4 or 5 years wiser and you're still billing the same amount? Yeah, but the market... Some of your competitors have grown year on year on year on year, and others don't. The guys that grow year on year on year are no cleverer than you, I promise you. They just simply think differently. Can you see the importance of what we call the false ambition? And how you talk to any recruiter and you say ambitious, they go, yeah. And that's why we deliberately say we want the abnormally ambitious individuals to come and join us.
You're listening to the Renegade Recruiter Unleashed podcast. For show notes, additional resources, and podcast updates, head over to www.therenegaderecruiter.com.
Again, I mean, people sometimes take offence to when we say false ambition, because, I mean, to be ambitious is for most people an attractive trait. Right? To say someone's not ambitious is an attractive trait. So people often take offence. But again, we don't say it to cause offence. We just say it to really illustrate a point, right? Again, as we said, if you went into a room full of 100 people and said, who wants to be a millionaire? 99% of them put their hand up. But when you look at their behaviours and what they're willing to do, it wouldn't quite be in sync, right? So all we're saying is your activity in sync with what you want to achieve, right? And if you're in this room right now, you're not achieving what you want to achieve, it's not, right? And that's not us trying to criticise you, it's important to be aware of it, right? Everybody has a wealth thermostat. Everyone has a point where they take their foot off the pedal, where they're comfortable. Even like Richard Branson, right? There's wealth and money, there's unlimited supply. So there's a reason why he hasn't at the next level. And that, again, it's not a criticism. Everyone's got their own sort of internal wealth thermostat. It's about knowing where yours are and, yeah, just being aware of it. So if you do want to increase it, if you do want to kick on, you need to be aware of self-sabotage, things that you do to hold you back. Again, every single share of the 2 days, there's no one in this room who isn't able to do what we share with you, right? But there will be people who aren't willing to do it. Right, so everyone's able, but there'll be people who are willing to do it. And even in your life, there'll be things that people have achieved, like people who run, like running a marathon, for example. I think that's a cool thing to do, right? I'm not willing to do the training, right? I would love to be able to say I've done it. I'm not willing to do the training. Again, there'll be things in your business that you're completely able to do, but you're not willing to do. So it's about being aware of that and just attacking it head on if you want to grow, if you want to increase your wealth thermostat.
Because whatever you do, whatever you want to achieve, there's a price that you're going to have to pay. It's as simple as that. And the question is, are you prepared to pay the price? Because if I was to ask you this question, what is it you need to do that you're not doing now, but if you were to do it, you would achieve your goal? See, if I've asked you that question, you've answered it. But you're not doing it. What is it you need to do that you're not doing now, but if you were to do it, you would achieve your goal?
I've found historically with recruitment that it's about commitment and sacrifice to have that commitment to your client for your USP over a competitor.
You found it's the commitment
It's the commitment and you're willing to sacrifice.
And you're willing to sacrifice.
If you know something pertinent about the potential client that you want to do work with that they appreciate, you've got a good chance of getting that business.
If you know something for certain, so I'm not being rude.
No. You know, if there's something that you know from a business point of view, that a direction that company is going in,
I'm with you. Yeah.
you expertise or the lacking whatever, you can supply that through the potential roles that are going to come that way. Maybe it's a new research centre.
Yeah, I'm with you. Sorry, yeah. So what I'd say on that is that.
You obviously know about our sector. You know about the market. You know what you're doing.
Well, here's the thing. Shatter things. Your clients don't want recruitment. They don't want executive search. What they want is the solution to their problem. Yes. Yeah. So if I give you a call and say I'm a marketeer, you don't want marketing. If I say, if you're probably aware of my introduction, hi, my name's Terry from Recruitment. We work with recruiters to help them to generate more leads, make more placements, and earn more money. That's what you want. So you're right. Oh, hi. That's what your clients want. They want the solution. So you're right. If you can provide the solution to their problem, that's what they want. Yeah. And I asked that question. What would you do that you're not doing now, but if you were to do it, you would achieve what it is you want to achieve? And one of the things that psychology found, it revolves around your why. So I'm going to ask you the question, there's no need to verbalise this, but why do you want to be successful? So as you answer that question, you'll often talk about the material things, bigger house, bigger car, and there's nothing wrong with that, nothing whatsoever. But what psychologists have found is that's not your real driver. So I then say to you, so what will that give you? So as I ask you that question, what will that give you? Because that's your real why. Because I've got some news for you. As you embark on this journey, every now and then, I can guarantee you, the shit's going to hit the fan. A client's going to let you down. Candidate's going to get a counter offer. Your best consultant's going to leave. This stuff happens. The individuals with a strong enough why have the greater resilience. Because that's where you get your resilience from. You must have heard the story when Tyson fought, I've just had a mental block, Buster Douglas. And Buster Douglas at the time was a complete and utter underdog. They said there is no way on earth that Buster Douglas could beat Tyson, who was at his peak. What many people didn't know, 4 weeks before Buster Douglas fought Tyson, his mother passed away. And on her deathbed, he said, "Mummy, I'm going to become the heavyweight champion of the world." And he trained his guts out, and he got into the ring, and Tyson was awesome. And he said the guy hit him so hard, he couldn't breathe for a couple of seconds. And he wanted to go down. He was in so much pain. But his why was the commitment he'd made to his mum. He couldn't go down. I've made this promise to my mum on the deathbed. There is no way on earth I'm going down. If any of you guys go swimming, I love swimming, and if you go swimming, you know if you go swimming and you go under the water, I find it quite peaceful. There's that peaceful sound in the water. You can just hear the kids playing or whatever. So imagine that you've done that. You've gone underwater, you dive under the water, you held your breath, and as you go under the water, somebody grabs your leg, and you turn round, and there's a guy there. He's got the oxygen mask on and everything, and he just looks at you and smiles, and he's like, "You're not getting up." Now you've got a choice here. Is it fair to say you would punch, scream, kick, and do whatever you can to get out of that situation? Yeah? That's your why. What if I said to you, if you don't achieve your goals, I'm going to hold you under the water? That's your why. What if you said, Niall, you told me earlier, you've got 2 children, you say, kids, here's the deal. The business is going to achieve X, Y, Z, and here's the deal. Next year, we're going to go to Disney. We're going to go for a month to Disney. I promise you that's what we're doing. We'll generate this income. There's your why. What's your why? Why must you achieve what did you say you want to achieve? I promise you it's more than money. It's around status, recognition. A client of ours he's just sold his business. That's what he came to us for. I want to sell my business. My why is I want to retire at 57. There's things I want to do for my children. That was what drove him all the time. What's your why? Because the moment you work on that,
I'm going to say that everyone has a why, right? It'll be there in your subconscious, but the clearer you can be about it, the more attached you can be to it, the better you do. Because again, so as I said before, like a lot of stuff we share with you, everyone's able to do, but some people won't be willing to do it. The thing that stops people being willing to do it is they haven't got a strong enough why, right? I mean, you mentioned earlier what happens when you send marketing out and people complain about it. If you don't have a strong enough why, you'll stop marketing, right? And we've probably all been there, right? If we're all honest, right? We've probably had someone said something negative, not even just in business, and you stop doing whatever he's doing because you haven't got a strong enough why, right? So the more you can be attached to your why, the stronger you're going to be when again shit hits the fan and you need to push through a certain challenge. You can use your why to do it.
be with who you want. Be with who you want. I've typed that. I'm not sure if I know what that means. Be with who you want.
Well, so one of your whys might be autonomy, right?
Oh, sorry.
The ability to do what you want when you want. It's the ability to be with who you want, and it's the ability to avoid doing things you don't want to do. Right?
Yeah.
It could be financial independence. Again, so we were speaking in the bar last night, and I think it was Mike was saying that one of his whys is he wants to retire, and he wants to provide a life for his kids when he does retire. So again, it could be financial independence. It could be sort of the ability to break free from the rat race. And it could be, as Terry said, freedom. And again, I think deep down for a lot of us, it will be freedom. Again, we were talking about last night how much of a nightmare it would be to go back and have to work for somebody else now, because we all feel like we're unemployable. So part of your why might be the freedom to not have to do that, the freedom to not have to do anything you don't want to do, the freedom to make the choices you want to make when you want to make them, and only if you want to make them at all. Does that all make sense?